Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda, and I'm here with my brother Eric.
Hope you guys are all doing great this week. We are here now into the very beginning of season 5 of Friends, right after Ross has said the wrong name at the altar. One of probably the most iconic Friends episodes of all time.
Man, that season ends, I think we were talking about how that's the best cliffhanger of the series.
It has to be.
Possibly.
It has to be.
Well, one of them.
We'll walk them back when we get to the end of this whole boat, but that's got to be pretty high up there.
I think so. I mean, so we left Chandler, Joey, and Monica. They were going to London for Ross's wedding while Rachel was at home with Phoebe. And then Rachel was finally recognizing her feelings for Ross, so she flew out the door to head to London to confront him. Phoebe was trying to warn people that she was on her way, but then when she got there, saw Ross with Emily, changed her mind about what she was going to do, decided not to say anything, but after they just saw each other and reconnected, Ross ended up, as Eric is saying, and I'm sure, as all of you know, said Rachel's name on the altar. Yikes. And it's just, I mean, I don't know if we talked enough at that point. I thought after we finished recording that last episode, I'm like, I don't think I spoke enough yet about just how awful I felt for Emily in this moment, too. It's just like, as much as she is not my favorite character on Friends, and I find her to be a bit annoying. I'm not really a huge fan of just Emily in general. Still, my goodness, I feel so, it's just so heartbreaking to even imagine being in her shoes. I couldn't even awful.
Imagine.
Can't even imagine.
No, I really couldn't. And the funny,
I felt like overall she. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is we talked all week last week about that episode and that moment, and then we lead up to that moment, and really it's this episode that's the fallout of that happening, because most of the episode does not address that at all. It's the very last thing that happens, and it's shocking, and that's about all you have, because you have to see what comes up next now. And now we've got next. So we've got what happens next. And we will talk about that here in a moment. But before we jump into it, I just want to say a quick thank you to all of you who are out there following us on our socials. Again, check out our Instagram and TikTok and YouTube pages. We really appreciate that. And again, if you could thumbs up or repost or share any of those videos, it goes a long way for us to help build this community. So we really appreciate that a lot. Thank you guys so much. And now we're going to jump into episode 5. Not episode 5, season 5, episode 1. Right. Let me get those straightened out. This is the one after Ross says Rachel, which, by the way, is the most succinct, perfect title. Because what else are you going to talk about? This is where this ends. However, our quick synopsis for this one is that Ross is dealing with the fallout of saying the wrong name at the altar, all while still trying to hold a reception together. And at the same time, really, Monica and Chandler are the center of this story, as they are trying to find a place to reconnect again. Let's say it that way.
Yes.
And so
we pick right back up.
We pick right back up at the altar. And so, it's funny because this is just the worst. I know we feel bad for Emily. Everybody should feel bad for Emily right here. I feel so bad for Ross too, because he is doing his best to try and save a sinking ship, but it's one of those things where, if you you paddle harder and it just makes it worse and worse and worse. And so he's trying to highlight, take the Emily. See, Emily. Knew it. Or
This
go ahead.
this is worse. This is worse than when he married the lesbian. The fact that his mom says that, I'm like, and it's the way she says it. I'm not doing it justice at all, but like her.
I like the guys
So-
because Joey's like, well, that was good. And Chandler says, well, it could have gone worse. He could have shot her.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this was
really.
horrible. Horrible.
She held it together. I'm thinking, I think I just would have ran out of there. Like, I don't think I would have stayed even at the front of the room.
No.
While they're like shoving the rings on each other's fingers. I'm like, oh god,
Happy
this
to.
is
Like,
yeah, more
that's-
like she's like
so
forcefully-
mad.
Oh,
And
it is.
like, it's just
It's bad.
all bad. It's all bad. There's no good that comes of this. And
No.
Ross is just trying to make it normal, and there's no way to do that. In all reality, she should have just run out of there.
Well, and I'm thinking, and I guess this is skipping slightly ahead, but just thinking of the whole logic of, so this is the ceremony, right? This isn't
Yes.
signing this isn't signing any documents and your marriage license, right? Like all that still has to be done. And most people don't do that before the ceremony. I mean, I guess you could, obviously, like they
You
could
sure
have
could.
gotten theoretically married prior to this, and this is just a ceremony, but that is not what we're led to believe. But after this, they make this big deal out of how this is my wife, as he says later, she's my wife, Rachel's my wife. Why do I keep doing that? Oh gosh, that scene. We'll get to that again, but love that moment. From Ross, you're so ridiculous. But anyway, all I'm saying is, I guess what always struck me with this scenario is that would they really be fully married though? Because to me, I'm thinking, yeah, she might have gone through with the ceremony, but legally, I mean, they were.
I mean,
because of what we see in the future. But
that's right.
Seems
That's right.
weird.
They so for storyline purposes, they definitely are. In actuality, could they have gone through the entire ceremony and then just not signed the papers and said, "No, that didn't happen"? I'm sure.
Well, because we're almost led to believe, like, she just goes right into that side room where she ends up climbing out the window and leaving. It's like they didn't even really have contact anymore. So I'm thinking,
No.
when did that happen? So I'm just saying, slight plot hole right here.
Well, I mean, listen, we've talked about the time with Friends. Like, time is a very interesting figment of how this works, because one episode, well, let's just put it this way. This episode ended, season 4, episode 24 ended, and season 5, episode 1 picks back up literally 1 second later. Yet between episodes 1 and 2, there's at least an entire week where Rachel is in Greece.
I was right.
So-
like she's
so
gone
there are-
for a while,
Yeah.
and Phoebe also looks fantastic after giving birth too. So there's that timeline glitch as well.
So
We'll
there
get
are
but yeah.
just there are gaps of time that are unaccounted for, and that's fine. When it comes to, like, could they have not gotten married? I'm sure they could have. But in all actuality, in a real life situation, if someone says the wrong name at the wedding, I'm not sticking around. I'm walking out right then.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of, no, that's all right, we'll just continue this just so you can get divorced later. No. We're gonna discuss this point right now. Because don't be too late on that. And now Ross is stuck.
And
But I do, I do
I love how
think this
Jack
has been,
Geller jumps in there too with, wow, bad time to say the wrong name, huh, Ross? That's true, Dad.
Yeah, that's just like, wow, Jack.
Both Jack
Wow.
and Judy come with, like,
They're coming with the heat right out of the gate.
Feedback. Yeah, great parenting there. Oh my God.
Oh, God. I mean, I do like the reception scene where he's like, Joey, dance. trying to make something happen, and then it's like, oh, the band's ready. Well, I guess we have to do what the band says, that whole thing. No, I understand Ross's frustration so badly. And yet when it comes down to it, he's in a spot where he's just gonna have to wait. Like, he has to wait for her to come around and have some sort of actual discussion point, which does happen in the future. But there's no way to push this. There's no way for him to, forcefully make this happen. It's not going to happen.
No.
Especially not at the reception.
No.
So that leaves us with Monica and Chandler. And Monica and Chandler they are clearly interested in making this happen again. And they are literally going room to room. They interact in a room individually with Rachel and Joey and Ross. And none of them are focused enough to see what's going on. None of them. No. They are all wrapped up in their own business. Joey's got some girl that he wants to hook up with. Ross is too busy looking for Emily that he doesn't notice that they're literally undoing the bed.
Well, and it's just so unexpected that no one is even thinking that this would be a possibility. It wouldn't even be on their radar at all. So even that's just so funny that you point that out, because it's like I had that same thought during the kissing episode that's to come, where it's like, even then, they still aren't thinking, oh, they're clearly making out in this room that we just walked into, and he's able to just, pass that off as, it felt French,
Yeah, well, that's, we'll get to that one.
Yeah.
But listen, the idea of them bouncing around where they can't, I guess nobody recognizes that they are having a, relationship starting.
Yeah.
Because you're right, none of them would even consider that to be a realistic possibility. And so we then get to this scene, which I do like, where Emily's parents come to the door and they're here to get her stuff from the honeymoon suite.
Oh,
and
yes, the waffles.
Ross is begging them to relay a message for her or for him, and they agree that they will. Mrs. Waltham is amazing in this scene, because this is where she delivers one of my favorite lines from her, which is, "Oh yes, there you are."
Yes. I don't know what it is about that delivery that it's so random too, that whole exchange where she's calling him monkey and that he's delicious.
Yeah. I think you're delicious. He's like, I'm right here. He's like, oh yes. There you are.
To her husband. Yes.
That is funny.
And
that's funny. I mean,
she's from, I never watched this show, but she was from that show Designing Women. Do you remember that? I remember seeing it come up on the TV, but never watched
I've heard of the title, but I couldn't tell you what it was about.
Yeah, that's what she was on.
Is that a sitcom? It
was another sitcom.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. Couldn't have told you if it wasn't an HGTV design show.
It sounds like it might be.
No idea. Could be. Yeah, so then the funny thing about that scene to me, though, is this. I don't know if you caught this on the rewatch here. You get Monica and Chandler in the room. They're already there. They're present, right? The parents walk into the room. Ross is in the room. Rachel runs into the room with toiletries, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, guys, there's a whole cart outside. You should check this out. Okay. That is the mechanism that they use to get Rachel into the room so that she can hear Ross say, I'll do whatever it takes to find Emily. Like, you, like, send her this message. Like, I'm not giving up on her. And that is all done. It's such a weird way to get Rachel in the room. That's all I'm saying, I guess, by that.
No, that's a really good observation. Yeah, because otherwise,
like, it doesn't strike with her character. Like,
No.
she would not be the one caring about toiletries. Like, why is she outside the room anyway?
Right.
Nor, like, running into the room just to show Monica all these, like, shampoo bottles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That seemed so weird to me. And I've watched this show, I can't even tell you how many times.
Yep.
But that stood out to me as being, that's the only reason they did that is just so she can... she can hear the message.
Yes.
She can overhear the message because she is like center screen in the background, listening to Ross begging the parents.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where something is happening in the foreground, but you're also really paying attention to the background of that scene.
Yes.
Where you see her kind of like disappointed.
Monica's
that's
consoling her. That's what I remember from that moment, is that it's like she's overhearing it and Monica's clearly consoling her because she knows why Rachel's there in the first place. So yeah.
Well, and they snap away from Ross having the conversation, and you still hear Ross having the conversation, but they focus in then on Rachel and Monica and Chandler, who are all kind of like, that's tough to hear.
Yeah.
But what would you expect him to say? He would exactly say that thing.
I know. It's, yeah, I mean, but I have to say, even after the altar, after all these moments, Ross is trying to get Emily to come back. He's then begging, the Walthams to tell her, just meet me at the airport. Let's figure this out. Let's go on the honeymoon. Still, Ross messes it up even more. I would almost argue this next, that like him then deciding to invite Rachel on the honeymoon is like even worse, because Ross, you've not only made this horrific mistake on the altar, you've now begged Emily her forgiveness. She finally shows up just to see Rachel getting on the plane. It is just unbelievable that she ever spoke to him ever again. Like, it's crazy. Like, take the total context of that scene. If that happened in real life, everyone in your life would be like, run away now. Like, never talk to this person again. It's
yes, 100%. This is unexcusable. I can't explain how insane this is. Now, I actually I understand Ross inviting her.
No,
okay?
no.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, no. hold on.
No.
If Ross is sitting there, he's begged her to come, and she isn't, right? Final boarding. Nobody's there. Nothing. Nobody's there. Rachel's there. Hey, why don't you come with me? I totally get it. The same would have been said, like, if it was Chandler. Like, hey, Chandler, why don't you come with me? That's the same idea. Even though it's not. I know it's not.
It's the woman he literally said her name at the altar.
Here's the mistake.
A glutton for punishment. This is why I love Ross.
But here's the mistake. When Emily shows up, Ross should have just been like, oh, well, and got on the plane. Because
at that point,
it's the exact...
Right.
Yeah. Like, you're done. There's no chances here anymore.
Nope.
You might as well get on the plane. Because at that point, it is equivalent to Rachel opening the door in a wedding dress being like, I do! Oh, dang. This is done.
So true. That is so good. Yeah, that is the same thing. It's like, this is done. Dead done. I mean, the fact that then into the future, Emily actually agrees to move to New York, even conditionally, makes me lose all respect for Emily. Maybe that's why I just don't like Emily, because it's like, girl, don't do it. This is bad.
No, people dislike, well,
Just saying. Doesn't help.
Well, let's jump into that a little bit. Here's my thoughts on this. One, let's state the obvious. The actress who plays Emily is in real life pregnant during all this.
Oh.
So you didn't know that.
You know, that sounds vaguely familiar now, but I did not know that.
All scenes from her are shot with her in the bed.
Yeah, I always did find that kind of funny and an interesting commentary.
The only time you don't see her in the bed is when we get this image of her appearing at the airport.
Right. And that's just from the neck up, I think, is all we see.
And it's still from the neck up. And she is not moving. You just see a picture of her in her coat with a bag.
Yeah, but we see her in the wedding dress. I guess that was probably shot before, though.
I think the wedding scene was all shot at the same time. And then this scene with her at the airport could have been shot at any point in time because the woman who's there in front of Ross is not Emily. That's a body double. Like when he's like, oh, no. And she's at the airport and she turns around. It's clearly not her.
Oh, you see her face.
So that is,
but it's all.
You see the back of her head the whole time until she whips around real quick and exits frame. Yeah. And it's obviously not the same actress.
Yeah.
So the woman who plays her is in fact pregnant, and therefore you kind of have to write Emily out regardless.
Yeah, what a loser.
And so you've already done this whole thing with saying the wrong name at the altar. How do you get rid of her quickly? This is the way that they chose to do it. I think it's a pretty good way to get rid of her.
Yeah.
But I think it turns Emily from this incredibly likable character who has done literally nothing wrong at all into this person who everyone says, oh, she's just so mean. She made Ross say that he had to forget seeing Rachel ever.
Oh,
wouldn't you say that?
I have real problems with the, what is it, the 9th season or whatever, when Emily is trying to reconnect with Ross and they're like, Ross, why would you want to do that? She is just the worst. And I'm thinking, what? It's more again, Emily, what are you thinking, girl? What is happening here? And the way that they talk about her is yikes, Rachel, don't be a mean girl. That's not cool.
But they all harp on the fact that Emily makes Ross choose. Which we will get to, by the way. That's coming up. It's in one of these episodes this week that we're going to talk about.
Yes,
but
it's totally easily understandable.
Absolutely. Not only is it understandable, but it is a mechanism to get rid of Emily.
Yeah.
And say, okay, we're done with this story now. Because now, for the first couple episodes here, it's almost hey, we have this great cliffhanger for season 4. So let's cliffhang it. But then in the first 4 episodes, we still have to wrap up all the season 4 storylines before we can start the season 5 storylines. Because Emily's still hanging around. Phoebe's still pregnant. All this is still going on. And those were the big stories of season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're interweaving amongst the end of those stories, Monica and Chandler.
Well, and so we get back to the apartment with Monica and Chandler, who had decided that, you know what, they were only going to be together while they were on London time. Well, they've now made an exception, and they're like, you know what, they agree that that night meant a lot to them, and they were going to part ways. But then Chandler knocks on her door again and is like, so I'm still on London time. Does that count? It counts. And they decided to continue their relationship, which is pretty great.
I think that's fair. It still counts. London time was still a factual part of this whole thing.
Apparently they're in London time for a while after they get back. So,
I mean, if you just set your watches to London time forever, then it's always London time.
That's right.
That is pretty much what they did. So now we're going to jump into season 5, episode 2, the one with all the kissing. And this is where we really start to see the beginning of Chandler and Monica back in New York. And we see the two of them kind of starting their relationship, and Chandler gets caught kissing Monica goodbye. And this is where he ends up having to kiss Rachel and Phoebe goodbye at a number of other instances throughout this episode. We also have Phoebe, who is really kind of disappointed about London and showing her disdain for missing out on the big trip, as the rest of them all still recollect what happened over that trip. And Monica gets put in charge of making all of Rachel's decisions because she can't do it for herself anymore. She makes bad decisions. Where do you want to go here?
Well, I mean, the portion with Phoebe just feeling left out, it's kind of a minor side plot, and it comes up a few times, but yeah, I just find it funny when they attempt to plan an adventure for her and they're going to go to Central Park. I understand why she's frustrated with that suggestion, because it's literally right there. It's kind of lame, guys.
It's not the same as London.
No.
But it's also unfair, I think, to the rest of them to say, hey, you just got back from an international trip. Now I need to make a new trip. By the way, I'm still pregnant, so I can't get on a plane. Come on, Phoebe. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
But it does launch us into the big trip for Phoebe, which is to the hospital.
Well,
where
that's true.
They're on their way to Atlantic City, or they're about to leave for Atlantic City for the big trip for Phoebe, and then her water breaks, and off to the hospital they go. Hey, do you remember that time my water broke? Oh, high five, high five, high five.
I also enjoy how Joey said, I said we needed a new plan. And Ross is all, and I came up with Atlantic City. And Joey's like, which is the new plan?
And that was the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Monica making all of Rachel's decisions, I find this to be a little weird. It does fit Monica's character for sure, to be able to make her decisions. And so she starts telling her to go ask out guys at the coffee shop, or then of course Rachel goes on the date with the guy, which this is the weirdest part for me, and then gets to the door.
Yeah.
She invites him in and then is like, oh wait, hold on, I can't make this decision. And then goes inside to ask Monica, who's not there, but Ross is there. And so she ends up talking to Ross. And ultimately, even though Ross is saddled with a box of 72 long stem red roses cut up into mulch, it's fine because Monica's going to make potpourri. And so essentially, Rachel gets rid of the guy, and Monica shows back up, and the two of them have it out back and forth about whether they should or should not be able to make each other's decisions, or Monica should be able to make hers. And she says, Rachel tries to fire her, and then Monica's like, you can't fire me. I make all your decisions. And I say, I'm not fired.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But either way, I like that we settle on the point that, hey, listen, if you want to tell Ross how you feel, I want you to try and find one person who thinks this is a good idea. And I wish that in this show, they had actually showed her asking people, but they never do. It's just an understanding that she's done it and they all said it's a bad idea. Like, there's no visual of her going around asking, hey, Chandler, do you think this would be a good idea? Hey, Joey, do you think it'd be a good idea? Hey, Gunther, would it be a good idea? Like, that could have been interesting. More so than some of the other stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, I do enjoy this scene with Rachel finally on the couch while, Ross is just reading a paper, and she finally does say to him, this is actually, it could almost be parallel because that scene with Josh just happened on the couch, Joshua, in Central Park, where Rachel basically proposed marriage to him. And now we're here with Rachel and Ross, where she is trying to tell him how she feels. And it's just all these I guess we're not used to seeing Rachel being as forward, I would say. I would agree. It's just very different for a character, which I think is actually, it's good. Like, I don't fully hate that she's telling him. I just think that it's also extremely cringy. Like, I guess I could see it in both ways, where it's like, Rachel, this is just, it doesn't.
I did not view this as cringy.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought this was a really like genuine sentimental moment between the two of them. The cringier section happens when she bails out of it.
Well,
when she bails out, it's like, oh, it's like the floating Rachel's talking to the Rachel on the couch and she's just hearing it for the first time.
But it's true.
And like, this is crazy. Like, and it is crazy because, and the thing is that you're married to Emily.
And that is the thing.
Pause. And Ross, that is what the thing is. And there's a lot implied in that. Like, if I wasn't married to her, though, that this could be a thing.
I don't think he can even really wrap his mind around what she's saying, to be honest, though, because it's like he is just...
No, I don't either.
He's been dealing with so much stuff, and that this probably doesn't even seem real in that moment. And he has to kind of push it out of his mind. So for me, the reason I said I don't like this, because part of me is like, yeah, as he even says at the end, it's always great when someone tells you that they love you. Sure, that's true, but she's not just saying I love you, she's saying I'm in love with you. He just got married. He's dealing with all this stuff. To me, it just feels very selfish on her part. And it doesn't, like, what is he supposed to do with that? And I think that's why she just started cracking up, because, this does seem insane. Like, you just told this guy who, can't even locate his wife that just got married, and their wedding is messed up not because Rachel did anything really specifically, but because of her in some sense. And now her adding this layer onto it is just overcomplicating things even more. So I'm not a fan of this from Rachel. I
do think, I'll say this. I think you started by saying that this scene could almost be paralleled to the one that she has with Joshua. And, I know we just talked about how time is weird, but in the grand scheme, that's not that long ago. It's not that long ago that she is proposing to Joshua potentially on that couch and now telling Ross that she's still in love with him. Not too long.
Which is kind of the reason why she was doing that with Joshua anyway, because Ross just got engaged. So yeah.
It's funny though, because the two scenes hit very differently. When she's talking with Joshua, the audience knows this is a horrible idea. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't say it. Don't say that you want to get married just because Ross is about to get married. And now this scene where she tells him that she's still in love with him, there's like a 5-count gap where nobody really says anything. And I think in that moment, you let the audience believe that this could almost be a thing again. Like, this was a really good thing to say.
Yeah.
And then he's like, wow. And she flips and bails out. And that's where it gets cringy for me. I would, if she had hung in there and been like serious with it the whole way, who knows what would have happened?
You think?
Do I think that you could have got anywhere with that? No, but we're at a moment here where Ross is about to continue to beg Emily to come to New York. If he knows that he could get back with Rachel, who he accidentally said her name at the wedding, and also accidentally, well, not accidentally, but on purposefully badly invited her on the honeymoon, I think Ross has still got some unspoken feelings.
Absolutely, but they are so like layered underneath, like beneath all this other stuff that's happening right now that I don't know. To me, even if he was still completely in love with her in this moment, which obviously I feel like part of him always is, but like that's just, would she really want that either? Like this guy, that just, the whole thing just is bad.
And it's funny.
Not good.
The thing that the one thing about this scene that I dislike is not actually this scene. It's like 5 episodes from now, maybe not even, when Emily is now a distant memory, not a distant memory, but clearly over. And I think Monica says, well, are you still in love with Ross? And she's like, oh no, like that's going to take a long time for him to get over that. And it's like, right. Okay. So now we're a few more episodes down the line. You just professed your love for him. And now you're going to bail out of it again just because it doesn't make a good story at this point is what it does. And it's like, that is so ridiculous. I really dislike this whole combination of things. I like Rachel being forward here and being the one to come out and say it. I dislike everything that happened after that.
Yeah, and I have to say, I really do like the stretch of Friends that's coming up where it's like, they're just
Ross
friends.
is about to lose his mind.
Yeah, Ross loses his mind, and Rachel and Ross are just good friends for a while. Like, that's it. And they both date other people, and there isn't that tension there. It's just, it just shifts gears a little bit, and I think that it works. That also works between the two of them. And they can somehow pull
in this
it off.
episode. Well, and in this episode, we had that line that you were talking about where he's like, I did what I had to do. She's my wife.
Yeah.
Rachel is my wife. Emily is my wife. And I feel like right then, that is the moment where you see like the Ross freak out.
Yes.
And Ross starts breaking down from there all the way for the next 4 seasons.
I know. I love that too, where he's like, they tell him that he abandoned Rachel at the airport. I did not abandon Rachel.
Yeah.
He just starts
he's getting very aggressive.
His mind, and Chandler is saying, I can't believe she could outrun you, man. Hey, she's fast, okay?
Yeah, we're getting a very aggressive, unstable Ross, and it is setting up what I think is probably truly your favorite season.
Yes. Yeah. But Rachel having to stay in the honeymoon suite too. Oh, Mrs. Geller, why you cry?
Yeah, that's not great.
Not good.
I do like Chandler and Monica in the tub. It's like, I've had a very long, hard day.
I love that. Yeah.
And it's the chicken. I can eat some chicken. Hey, Joe. Can I get a 3-piece with blah 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 and whatever and a Diet Coke?
Yes, I love that scene.
That's a good moment for those two. Mm-hmm. And I will say this: I feel like I have said a number as we work our way here towards the ratings. I have had Monica like at the bottom character, my least favorite character, a lot. That is going to change starting now.
Yeah, she's really funny in these. She definitely becomes
her character
a lot more central, for sure.
Her character really, I feel like, for the first time, we start to get a grip on who Monica is. Because Monica was a central figure in the first couple seasons.
Yes.
And then she's just kind of like lingered around as a background friend while all these other things are going on, just kind of maintaining that role.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get like a real heavy focus on Monica development, and I am here for all of it.
Yeah, I think not only is the romance between her and Chandler, it makes a great story, but it's also their comedic just presence bounces off of each other really well. And so it's like they are just really funny together, and it like they definitely help bring out the best parts of each other's character. And also, I think seem to naturally evolve together and grow as characters throughout the plot line. It's like it just makes sense. It just works really well. Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that it was ever a plan to do, but I'm glad they did, and I think everybody else is too.
Yeah. Well, but we have then we also have those lines that I was referring to where Rachel is telling Chandler to just stop it, and he's trying to bring culture to the group.
Oh, yes.
And
yes, he is.
That's fine, but just don't bring it to my mouth, is what Phoebe's saying. And I like how Monica
makes
also
me want to puke.
says, yeah, it makes me want to puke. So she's trying to make it clear that she's not into it either. And Chandler's face is really funny.
Such an overcorrection, right? You went so far in the opposite direction. And you say that, and like they all walked in on you full on makeout session.
That's what I'm saying. It's so
come on, guys.
Weird. Like the fact that they still don't suspect anything in that scene is like way too much. It's so bad.
But I will tell you what, these episodes where Monica and Chandler are trying to keep it a secret.
It's so funny.
And then Joey finds out.
Yeah.
Like, these are great.
Yeah.
Great episodes.
Yeah. Well, and one of my favorite moments that's coming up is when Phoebe spots them through the window. That is to me one of the funniest moments of Friends.
All of these moments stem from Monica and Chandler being together, and this is the very beginning of it.
Yep.
So I'm here for it. So now it's time for the IMDb ratings portion of our podcast here, where we talk about our ratings versus the IMDb ratings, and we list our favorite and least favorite Friends characters of these two episodes combined. Amanda, do you want to start with favorite or least favorite in these two episodes?
I will go with favorite first.
Okay.
I chose Ross as my favorite because I just think he's so funny running around all panicked at the wedding, and when he's at home where he's just, screaming about, Rachel being his wife still and still messing up the name and just being ridiculous. And I just think that this is where we really start to see Ross lose it, which as Eric said, I really enjoy. And I just like watching him come undone. So I went with Ross. And I might have a Ross streak here, so we'll see. But yeah, how about you, Eric?
Okay, so for my favorite character, I'm actually torn between a few. I am going to go.
Is this serious?
This is serious, actually, because I feel like I've got, like, what do I want to say about my favorite stories part of this? And I'm going to say it is Chandler on these. I was bouncing back and forth between Chandler and Monica. And I want it to be Chandler because I feel like there are more better Monica episodes in the pipeline about to show up. And I really like how Monica brings out a different side of Chandler. You see, like, almost immediately a slightly more responsible, a slightly more mature version of Chandler, like instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that you didn't see with Janice, a guy that you didn't see with any of the other girls that he dated for as short a period as that was. You see somebody who is, progressing. And not only that, I love the scenes in the first episode of the season where Monica and Chandler are trying to find places to go. In particular, the one where they go into Chandler and Joey's room, and Joey's on the other side of the locked door. He's like, listen, who's going to be having sex in there, me or you? He's like, well, I guess that would be you.
Because he's like, you don't have a girl in there. You went in there with Monica. He's like,
right. And so, like the timing on both of them is real good. The thing is, like Ross, I get it, but there are points of these where, especially in the second one, in the second one where I feel like Ross is just more a sad character sitting around than he is as entertaining. But he brings a lot in that first one, though. I'll tell you that much. So then I will double down here and say, as far as my least favorite character, I think it's Joey. I feel like Joey just gets forgotten in these episodes. It was either going to be Joey or Phoebe. Okay. But I think Phoebe at least I don't love Phoebe being all mad about going to London. I don't love that. But I also
feel like they had to just give her something to like add to the plot line. I don't know.
Well, but like, I really get bothered by the scene where Joey sits down on the airplane next to Chandler. And he's like, hey, can you tell me, how do you feel like my acting career is going? But I mean, that giant is so much younger than me. And Joey. Like, it's like, Joey, just go away for a moment.
Well, also, Chandler could have just gotten up and left. I'm thinking, really, he could have just said,
Chandler, I would have got up and left too.
I'm out. Yeah. But I have to say, just one comment about, Chandler being your favorite and how you could all of a sudden, you could see him growing already, like with in his relationship with Monica. And I love that about his character too. And Matthew Perry wrote about how he really enjoyed that part of his character because he felt like Chandler grew in the way that he wished that he really could. So it's like he could live that out through the character, but he felt like he wasn't able to do that in his real life.
In his own personal life.
Yeah, in his own personal life. It's like he couldn't really achieve that. He felt maybe, I don't know if he just, just wasn't able to either meet the right person to bring that out in him or just, he just struggled with so much. So that it just makes me, when I see this part of Chandler's character, it's great, but it also, it's just a bit sad because it's like you see this development in him that you just wish he could have, held on to himself. But I think that happens with a lot of great actors or just, any actor in general, where it's like they're almost fulfilling this part of their psyche, this part of their personality in a way on the stage, that they can't in their real life. So it's,
I totally understand that. I always found like the scene with Chandler and Monica when they're back at the apartment and everybody's gone and now they have all the time in the world, but they're back in New York. The idea of Monica trying to say thank you and Chandler, saying, listen, that meant a lot to me too, because like, you're really hot. And like that whole scene just seemed so genuine and sweet and subtle, not over the top one way or the other. It was very different Chandler in that scene. And I think that that is really the guy that I think when a lot of people say that Chandler's their favorite character, you think of the early Chandler, but you also connect with this guy.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm not going to call him more responsible, but he is a little bit. He appears more mature, let's say. It also makes me believe that Monica would want to be with him.
Yeah. Yes.
After dating Richard and dating Pete, to go for the goofball across the hall seems insane.
Yeah.
But this version of Chandler is a different guy.
Yeah. And I like how they, in the next few episodes, we'll see how, Chandler's not fully, like, he hasn't fully grown into this person that they're going to have this, outstanding relationship right away, but they play it out really almost in a natural way where it's like he's struggling with it a little bit, and then they kind of go back and forth, and then they, really connect in a meaningful way. And I think just the way that plays out, it works. It just does. So yeah, it's but I would say, also, I don't think I mentioned my least favorite though for these episodes.
You did not. I haven't written it down yet.
So I went with Rachel for my least. Because, it's like, Rachel, first of all, just don't go to London. Yeah. Don't go to London. Definitely don't go to Greece.
Bad decisions.
Don't go to Greece. And don't tell Ross that you're still in love with him. I don't like any of those choices. So it's like, and even when she tries to then relinquish control because she knows that she's making terrible choices, she still just goes ahead and continues to make bad choices. So it's just like, Rachel, oh God, it's tough. I think,
but by the way, that story was also a deciding factor for me on Monica. Like the Monica and Rachel, like making decision thing, like whatever.
Yeah. It is typical though that Monica. I love that scene where Phoebe's like, "Oh, I can't do that. I tried that once before and things got out of control, and it's just too much power." Yeah, and Monica immediately, "I'll do it."
Yeah, like, that is typical Monica. That's the Monica we expect to see.
Yeah,
but I don't care about that Monica as much as I do relationship tutor Monica, which is what we'll get to.
Yeah.
Okay, ratings. Which one did you have higher rated?
All right. So for me, my higher rated episode was episode 2, the one with all the kissing. I give that episode.
I had it the other way around.
Oh, okay. I rated both of these pretty high. I gave that one an 8.8.
The one with all the kissing is an 8.8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
what'd you do for the other one?
I gave the one after Ross Says Rachel an 8.6.
Okay. So I went with an 8.7 for After Ross Says Rachel.
Yep.
And then with the one with all the kissing is an 8.3.
Okay.
And I'm knocking a little bit because the Phoebe storyline, Monica in charge of Rachel, it all just feels kind of like meh. It is a mechanism to get Rachel to tell Ross that she's still in love with him.
Yes.
And also get us to Phoebe's water breaking.
Yes. Yeah. I guess
that's what this episode is.
It's so true. I think that moment with Rachel telling Ross how she feels on the couch is just like so memorable to me. And even though it's so cringy, I just always, it's ridiculous and funny as well. And I also just really enjoy Ross like melting down and, I did what I have to do. She's my wife. Rachel is my wife.
Emily is my.
I don't know why that line just so funny.
Well, and with that though, IMDb has your ratings. I've looked them up as you were talking, and the one with all the kissing is the higher rated episode.
It is.
It is an It is an 8.9.
Oh, okay.
And the one after Ross Says Rachel is an 8.8. So both very highly rated.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Wow, I was thinking I might have been on the high side, so I was actually lower than both of those. Well, cool.
I am really surprised the one with all the kissing got an 8.9.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look through and go, what was it about that episode that got it so highly rated?
I feel like it's the combination of like opening the scene with Monica and Chandler in the bathtub, and it's like
that I love.
I feel like just coming to terms with how these two have real feelings for each other, and we're gonna play this out. Like, you really realize that as the audience. So now you not only have they're like, and it's a secret still, which is fun, and like, so they're like, you have that plot line, and then also, just this whole insanity between Ross and Emily in the distance, and Rachel, how she feels. I just feel like there was so much drama in that episode. I totally get that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check us out on our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where you can subscribe and follow along and repost and like all the shorts that we put out there. Again, if you could check out our website at werunonreruns.com, we have all of our podcasts in their full entire episodes listed there, not to mention Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. For Amanda, this is Eric. Enjoy watching Friends Season 5, Episodes 3 and 4 this week. Happy rerunning, everybody.
See you later, guys.